All right, so there we go. Welcome to RVing in New England, and let me just get Sheri down below.
Wait.
What?
Go back.
Yeah, I'm trying to do three things at once.
I know, but we need more excitement. We
Oh
need.
yeah,
Hi, everybody. Welcome to RVing in New England. My name is Bob Zagami, and I'm here with John DePietro. And we've got a great show lined up for you. We've got the RV Power Women of New England that are joining us tonight. Bob, I'm sure you're excited about that.
I am, but I'm trying to get Sheri on because she's showing up as device not connected. So she'll be out there in the background a little bit.
She's
But
a pro. She's been on several times, so I'm sure she knows what to do.
she'll figure it out. She'll either go to
We've got Walter reporting live
from
at
Normandy Farms.
Normandy Farms.
Normandy Farms out there with the grandchildren. Yep, and
it's a good thing for Walter Swenson that they have indoor pools at Normandy Farms, because I think Walter's been there at least a few days, because I know he's
he's there over the weekend. I'm not sure.
posting some photos.
Yeah,
It was an evening off from Foxborough. Walter, how long you been there? And the Haws are trading in their Texas weather for New England weather, and they're in Nashua, New Hampshire. Bob, are we ready to bring our ladies onto the scene?
I think we should. We have two of the three so far. We have Michelle Andro at Hemlock Hill and Lexi Roberts at Longview RV. So, ladies, welcome back to the show again. Always a pleasure to see your insights and what you're doing and what's new at your dealerships, and get some of your comments in terms of where the marketplace is today and what we look forward to for 2026. So, Michelle, seeing that you have a last name that begins in A, and let me see if this is Sheri coming in.
Okay, I found it.
There we go. Alphabetical.
Wait a minute, which you? Oops.
Okay, I'm still here.
There we go. Thanks,
There
Sheri.
we go.
Hi,
All right,
Sheri.
we're talking. All right, Michelle, give us a quick update on what you're doing.
Well, things are busy here in New England. I mean, we're getting ready for camping season, so it's the time of year when everyone's coming in, taking their RV out of storage, looking for, a seasonal maintenance service, dewinterization, those kinds of things.
That's
Is
great.
dewinterizing a little slower this year on the service schedule?
I don't think it's slower. I think it just started a little later.
I know, and I had planned to
Yeah,
be
'cause there was too much snow on the ground.
dewinterized this week, and I just keep delaying it.
Don't delay.
I still want to freeze up, but
Well,
I
that's
know.
good to hear. And your lot traffic, as you said, has been very good.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's as the first 3 months of the year were good, except when they announced the war with Iran, we kind of slowed down a bit, as I assume many different businesses have. So, with the instability in the economy, so goes some of the traffic.
Yep.
good point.
Lexi, what do you think about the situation these days?
I mean, we've been still pretty busy considering everything, and I think people really have cabin fever. If you know a lot about the weather we've had this winter, it was a long winter, and I even feel it myself. I'm so excited for spring and forgot how much fun we have and when it's busy at the store, and we have really good lot traffic, and service is already picking up. So far, so good.
And Bob, to have a person who is a avid skier,
That's what I was going to ask her.
looking forward to the spring, it must have been a hell of a long winter.
It
Right,
was
Lexi?
cold, a lot of snow on the ground. Normally Connecticut's not too bad, but it was something. I think people really are ready to just go outside, and we had an almost 90 degree day last week. So,
Right.
and now it's cold this
That-
morning. So
Yeah, that really popped everyone, that little burst of heat.
we got
that
excited.
summer
Yeah.
feel.
We RV'd over the weekend up in southern New Hampshire, and right outside, as we pulled into a parking lot of one of the malls, there was still a pile of snow that was the snow that was plowed there during the wintertime. It had all the dirt and the sand and gravel all over it, but there was a good 4 foot, 5 foot tall.
Yeah, I saw that. Sheri Fuller,
Yes.
what are you seeing in the marketplace?
Actually, it looks like rental wise, it's up a little. I mean, I'm better this year than I was last year at this time. Sales, I mean, it's not bad, but I'm getting foot traffic at least. I just
Yep.
had a guy pop in. He rang the doorbell because I was in the garage, and he wanted to look at some Class A's at 6 o'clock. I'm like, he says, "Are you open?" I says, "Kind of closed at 5." So okay, he's looking for a couple A's. So we'll see what ends up happening. He has a restaurant in Northborough, so we'll see if he comes back. I told him come back over the weekend. Other than that, I've got I'll have 3 units in the garage over the weekend that need to be picked up next week that are sold. So, I mean, it's a good thing for us. And as I said, I think I ended up with 6 rentals out this week. So that's not bad.
Yeah, school vacation week. Hey, Bob, as I look at our audience, our panelists here, these ladies have been on the show with us many times before, but they really represent 3 distinct backgrounds in the industry. And when you look, Sheri's been in the business, Sheri, over 40 years.
43 years this year.
43 years with her husband and son. Okay. But she's at that first generation of ownership here. Michelle has been in the business her whole life, right, Michelle? Pretty much with your parents, with the campground, and now with your brothers in the dealership that's right behind you. Okay. And if you look closely behind Michelle, what do we have? The older building is right next. Okay. The older building is first, and the brand new building is with the blue roof is behind that. Okay.
Yes.
So Michelle's got a little bit of different role, and Lexi brings a third element to the industry in that she grew up in the business with her grandparents and parents and your brother every once in a while. But now you're taking a very, very active role in the business. You went to college and came back, and now you're doing your thing. So interesting, Bob, the area of expertise of these 3 ladies that are with us tonight is varied, but they're all family businesses.
Yep.
It's not like they're in the corporate world.
Comments. So Walter is at
Walter's there
Monday
through Friday. Walter, you are a trooper. You are a trooper. I don't know. Ask Walter if he. Well, I don't have to ask Walter. I don't have to ask you to ask Walter. I'll ask him himself. Did you bring your car down with you, Walter, so that you can get out of the campground? Because outside of the indoor,
he posted a picture with everybody playing bingo the other night. Hello, Jim Conboy. Jim Conboy from New England RV Group, and we have a special guest joining tonight, Lexi.
Hello, Garrett.
Why don't you tell us who Garrett is? He's a member of the Lexi Roberts fan club.
Yes, my best golf partner.
Oh, I didn't know you were golfing with him. Oh.
That's actually how we met at a conference golfing, and we got paired up. So Garrett from Campground Views.
Right. Where's he at? Is he in Connecticut or somewhere in the other
Views.
Out of Canada, traveling all over the country.
Yeah. Oh, Campground Views. Okay. Walter, so Walter has the car, so he can
get out there
because this would be a rough weekend. You just, like somebody said in previous guests that we've had on, because of the cold weather, it's slowed down the traffic to the dealerships a little bit. Then we had that 80 or 90 degree day last week. It probably perked up a little bit right after that. Everybody kind of got in the mood, but man, over the weekend it just got again.
Hey, a couple of housekeeping things here. Congratulations to Mrs. Fuller.
Thank you.
Best
Very
of
nice.
2026. I haven't heard of that particular award. Sheri, is that germane to just the Worcester type area, Central Mass area?
I'm thinking it's around the Worcester metro area. I happened to get it came in the mail, and I ended up doing the digital version to start advertising it.
Good. And Michelle, tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, well, it's like it says, we're having a Super Saturday sale May 2nd. It's really kind of our last ditch effort to help, before Memorial Day, to help get people ready and out there RVing, get ready for camping season. So it's going to be fun. We'll have a food truck for lunch. We've extended our hours. We've actually extended all of our business hours for the whole summer. So it'll be good. Hopefully we'll have great weather, which I think we will.
So what do the hours look like for the summer?
We are doing Monday through Wednesday and Friday 9 to 6, Thursdays until 7 p.m. and Saturdays 9 to 4.
Why 7 o'clock why Thursday's a longer day?
Just to have one later night during the week.
You didn't want to go 9 to 9, huh?
Not quite.
Not quite ready for that.
This is unique with just a 1-day sale, but I see that you've got the free lunch on there, and I'll guess it's probably Blackie's hot dogs.
Yes, they're close by, and they're a good partner of ours. So yeah, they're going to hop over and be there for the afternoon.
No, that's the place that's still closed on Fridays, right, Michelle?
Blackie's?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know their hours because we always just get the food truck.
Because it's kind of a reddish store.
Yes.
And their secret is their mustard. I mean, their relish. Is that their big?
Yes, and their birch beer.
Yeah. Okay. I stopped by there a couple months ago, and actually, I stopped there once when I had stopped at Hemlock Hill, and somebody said it might have been one of your brothers that said, you got to go over to that hot dog place. And I went over, and it must have been a weekend because it closed on Friday. And the old reason was, for many, many years, the Catholics couldn't eat meat on Fridays.
Oh, right. Yes.
So they just kept that tradition up. I mean, how many restaurants do you see today that are closed?
I know, right? On a Friday.
Yep.
So we also have coming up this weekend. This weekend?
No, next weekend.
April 30, May 1st, May 2nd, the big spring open house for Mage's RV. Are you going to be doing videos down there, John?
Yeah, I'll be down on Wednesday, April 30th.
Okay.
Thursday the 30th, a week from tomorrow.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the industry. There's been some concern in some places about the war and the gas prices and what have you. But, when there's a recession or there's a business downturn, that's a challenge and an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to take market share. So when we look at it from that standpoint and the positive standpoint, and I'll start with Sheri, what are you doing different this year to get more of that traffic away from your competitors and make sure you keep a positive attitude with the people who are coming in who really want to rent an RV and find out what this crazy business is all about?
As I said, it is. I know with the war and everything, I would think that it would slow down, and of course the gas prices. But I'm getting a lot of. I just had a guy call me. He wants to go 15 days to Montana in the next month, and I think I put that together. Yeah, I did. And it's him and a couple guys are going. And then we picked up a 7-trailer deal in Boston for 2 weeks in August for a religious connection. And we've got to deliver them, set them up, and then go back and pick them up. And then I just had a contractor doing some work on the vineyard. Had to give him a price for 2 to 4 weeks in July. And then before I left the office, I forgot to get back to him.
Terrible.
I know. Well, no, he's coming up in August. He just called me. I was fighting with the registry today. And he called me when I was en route.
Wait. You were fighting with those pleasant little people in the Massachusetts Department of Motor Vehicles.
I had to drop off. I had to go to the B2B Okay. I went to the Worcester registry and I said, oh no, you're a dealer. You need to go to the B2B. You can't go in the regular line. I said, okay. So I went over there, gave her last Wednesday. The motorhome was going Saturday and tomorrow. I just went and picked it up today. The motorhome I had to change because, in fact, I didn't have the plates. And the one going tomorrow needs a sticker. The first time we just registered it in our name. I got that one back undone because the dealer block wasn't filled in because it was a dealership, but I did it as a private sale. So I had to redo it and go to the the Leominster registry where I knew I could get in and get out. 2 hours at the Leominster registry waiting to get one set of plates.
That's what happens to the consumers. Let me switch over to Lexi. Lexi, you're part of the Priority RV Network. And as a collective group, how are you keeping the customers positive and in the buying cycle in today's marketplace?
I think really just engaging them and doing what we've always done, which is really emphasizing the customer experience. And our service department really is top notch and we have a lot to offer. So just kind of showing them how ownership looks and targeting new buyers and just showing them that this is something that is accessible. It might seem a little overwhelming because RVs are a little bit complex, but teaching them how to use it and just everything that comes along with buying from all of the dealers in the network, but specifically at Longview, we have a lot of resources for them to help them out with that.
And you also have an incredible service manager with 30, I keep saying 30 plus. How many years now has Joe Nero been there?
I think it's 33.
33. And
it's amazing. Yeah.
We're
very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
Would you also say that, based on the economy that we're talking about, that kind of like is over all of us right now, if a person shows up at your dealership, they're pretty serious. They're not kicking tires. Are you finding that to be the case?
We've had a few people, actually 2 this week. They come and they say, we came from out of state. We want to take it right now. No delivery. No, we're not coming back. We're taking it right now. We're hitching and go. We'll wait a few hours, but they're ready. The people that come in, they really are ready. They've been thinking about it. I think internet research is so important now, and we've been having lots of chats about how information comes up when the consumer's using AI just to research, kind of exploring chat bots, but you don't want wrong information going out, and it's hard to monitor that as the dealership and making sure it says all the right things because there's so much that goes with that. But there's a lot of research that goes into it, and most people that are coming to the store, they've thought about it. And we do get the occasional, we were driving down 91, so we decided to stop, or we had time before we went to the airport, but we'll always have that.
These folks that came in, what did you say, Michigan? The one that came in and wanted to take it home, where were they from?
We had one from New Hampshire and one, can't remember, I think it was somewhere in northern Mass.
But they came a distance.
Yeah.
They came a distance, and they were well armed with information and pricing and that type of thing.
Yeah,
they kind of
called before they came, made sure the unit they were going to come look at it. Is it still there? Is it available? And okay, great, we'll be in a few hours.
Yeah.
Now, when they called that time to see if the unit was still available, was that the first exposure they had with a person at Longview? So they had done all the homework. They had picked out the unit. They knew exactly where it was. They looked at the map. They looked at where you were. Then they picked up the phone and said, hey, I'm going to come in and look at this unit.
Yep.
See, that's the opportunity that's out there. Michelle, what do you find from the Route 66 network, and how, as a collective group, are they addressing the positivity of what the opportunities that we have now and at your local level?
I would echo a lot of what Lexi said. We do have some outer-staters that come. People have said, oh, I drove 2 hours to get here, and they leave us a raving review, which is really great. And I think for the people who might feel challenged by what's going on, owning an RV is probably still cheaper than flying for the amount of enjoyment you would get out of your RV, and there's a lot more flexibility. So it's just a different conversation about your free time and your vacation time and how valuable it is, and about making memories instead of waiting in TSA lines, right?
Michelle, I have to tell you this story. It's an absolute true story.
Dude, you promise it's a true story?
It's an absolute true story. And I even have the business card of the person I'm going to talk about in a second. I won't bring his name up. But when we were in Florida in February, in our RV, we drove down and we spent the whole month there. But during school vacation week, our oldest granddaughter was going to fly down on her own for the first time, right from Worcester, right into Fort Lauderdale. And I was able to meet her at the airport, and there was like a delay. The plane landed on time, but it couldn't get to the gate because there was a plane that was still at the gate. So I said, it's great to fly, but there's still more fun in the RV. And a person commented on it, and he was employed in the airline industry, and whom I know. And when I saw him last week, he said, "Hey, I'm retiring, and I want you to teach me how to buy my first RV."
Oh, great.
There's an airport guy wanting to, he said, "You know what?" He said, "I don't want to go through any more airports once I retire, because I've had my 35-year career has been at airports." And so it's ironic, Michelle, that you told that story. And I'm looking at his business card right here. So we're going to get together next week. If I'm going to call him and drive up. I'm going to drive up to the airport in my RV, and I'm going to get him and Sheri. We're coming to your place to look at a variety of units all at once. I said, you got to rent first, then figure out what you like. And so we're coming from a local nearby airport right over to Fuller RV.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, interesting, very interesting.
So
let's talk about all you go to the spring shows, consumer shows, but also the manufacturer shows and the dealer rep shows. What have you anticipated for future business in terms of how you're stocking the lot? What do you think are going to be? What's the inventory that you brought in that you think are going to be most attractive to today's buyer and today's economy? Sheri, you want to start?
I didn't do a lot of buying. We haven't been to the open house since 2019. So we were just hanging back. We still have 60 units. We've got a good fleet to get us through the summer. Plus, I have probably 8 units there are 2022s, and they haven't even had one rental in them yet. So I still got a good selection to keep everybody happy. I'm getting low on trailers, but I need to get rid of the older ones before I brought some new ones in. So I am going to have to do something about trailers, as much as Bobby doesn't want to. I just sold a couple bunkhouses. Well, there were 27. It was a 2015 and a 30-foot that's 2021. But I need to get some bunkhouses in that are new, that have modernized, a little modern than what we've got. But I don't have that many bunkhouses. I only have a 2017 actual bunkhouse, 37.5 foot, that we got over COVID. But that's it. I need to get some double axle trailers in, because I've got plenty of single. And as far as motorhomes, I've got 28 different floor plans in the C's. I've got some B pluses. I've got 6 A's. So I've got a good variety to keep everybody happy.
Yeah, plenty to work from. Michelle, what are you finding? What are people going to find when they go to your lot this year?
Well, we too have a lot of bunkhouses. That seems to be a favorite. And we have a few more destination units. We have one called the condo. It's really beautiful. Like, it's nicer than a condo that I've lived in before. Um, I think units that are, and there's a couple of units. One is called I forget the number, the model number, but Fun. There, I think it's a 35 Fun, and there's a something Chef. Some of the units are, they're set up to be more social, like for people who want to socialize or be the party stop, so to speak, around the campground. So we have some of those kind of fun units, but we do have, I mean, we have a wide selection of all travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and destination units.
Well, you set up your bar at the most popular place in the campground, right?
Right.
What do you think the season's going to be like for you?
My brothers have already, well, one of my brothers already set up his camp. He just brought his trailer up to the campsite, and my other brother's bringing it up next weekend. So we're like, to Lexi's point about cabin fever, our customers have it, but we have it too. So
I think that's a good point, and I think you're right. Every time we have a severe winter like that, the people, they just can't wait to get out of the house and get to the dealership and see what's there. So I think both of you are right on that. I think that's a very positive approach to it, and I think they're going to be ready to buy when they come on. And I think in times like this, lots of times it's actually a good thing that it kind of weeds out the people who aren't quite ready, that just want to go kick tires, and the people that come to the lot, they've got the money, they've got the plan, they know what they want, and they'll execute a sale quicker than some of the tire kickers would. So let me go back. No, let me go back to Lexi here in terms of what are people going to find when they come to Longview?
We have everything. We just got a new load of pop-ups. So A-frame pop-ups are now back on the lot, which is really exciting. And then we have everything up to gas Class A motorhomes, and we've got some new Dynamax Super Cs that are coming in, and those are getting a lot of interest. We've already sold a few of them, which is awesome. And then travel trailers, fifth wheels, lots of bunks. But I see a lot of fun new models, like one of our surveyors, it has the trail gate, and it's a bar that opens up on the side, and you could pass stuff out through the bar, and there are these cool stools that go with it. So it's just features like that you have a couple and they go tailgating, and we sold a bunch of those at the show. So those new innovative features that aren't super complicated with technology, just fun little things, people are loving those.
Well, that's another good point, Lexi. I've heard from a lot of people that maybe this industry is kind of maxed out on all the technology, the demands of the technological systems, the demands on the service departments, and a lot of the manufacturers are going back to a much simpler process. And I love what you said about the A-frame pop-up trailers. If you go back 10 or 15 years ago, they were burying them in the ground, saying there's no way in hell that they could survive, where they are. And now when you look at the pricing structure of our industry, that's still a very affordable option for people. And you've got an indoor showroom for them also, right?
Yep. It's pretty loaded up right now. We just got the new load in, so it's exciting. We get a lot of foot traffic on just people coming in for pop-ups, because I know not everyone in the area will sell them.
What's the demo on the pop-up buyer, Sheri? I mean, Lexi.
Lots of families that want the room. They want something small. Then they have an SUV or some smaller vehicle. They can't tow a bigger trailer, but especially the ones that are going to fold out, you have all of that room for sleeping.
Let me take a quick peek over here, make sure we're not abandoning anybody in the audience. Don, Walter, we got James, we got Garrett, Garrett. I understand that you just hired a COO, and congratulations on that. And if you folks haven't been to Campground Reviews,
that Mark Kep's company?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The ability to go online when you're making reservations. A lot of campgrounds have signed up for it. And Garrett, you might, if it's not company confidential, you might just give an idea of the scope of the number of campgrounds and where people can see it. But on the site, you go visually and see the site itself. You can see how difficult it may be to back in or how easy it may be to pull through. And you can see all the trees. You can see the patios. It's a fantastic system, and they've signed some pretty big contracts. So if you want to comment on that, Gareth, we appreciate it. Towed the car. Walter, we went out to Patriot Place for bowling today for a few hours. I don't know, Walter, bingo the other night, bowling today.
Hey, Walter, you got to try the F1 track. That is when you come out of Normandy Farms, just take a right like you're heading to the stadium. No. Take a left. And
it's between Normandy and 495, right?
Right. Yeah, it's just off 495, that F1 track that I'm told is quite the place. In fact, I think Marcia told us that they send a lot of business over to there.
I bet they do.
But
Dante says, evening, sorry we're late. Are you on the road back to Maine, Dante, at this point?
No. Lots of new models are totally electronic, and half the time it has flaws. 2 neighbors have had issues with new units. Well, that's the thing with the electronics. The electronics in the highway don't match well.
Hey, let me. We got Jose on tonight with RVing today, and thank you for joining, because I was talking to him earlier this morning, and he's been at it since 5 o'clock this morning too. But Jose and I had a conversation the other day. The RVing today is signing up stations all across the country. I think the total number of households that get RVing today are about 50 million. That doesn't mean all 50 million sign in, but there's a lot of people that do it, and it's on all kinds of systems across the country. And we were talking about television versus influences. There's a lot of people in the industry who are losing faith, if you will, in terms of the influencers, because it's very difficult to gauge what they bring into the product and what they bring into the company that they represent. And what RVing today, their selling point, and they are having no trouble whatsoever selling sponsorships and getting people to sign up for this, is that sometimes the influencer themselves isn't going to drive anybody into the show. It's nice they have a YouTube channel and they talk about it, but it's a mystery as far as the marketing expertise of that. Whereas a consistent weekly television show like RVing today around the country, people see the show who never thought about going RVing. It's a lifestyle show. It shows them about it. And he has a valid argument, and it's working great with the advertisers, that people that you never thought would buy an RV, because they see how people enjoy the RV and they see it on a consistent basis in different locations. And I wonder if we're at a point where, and because we know a lot of companies are cutting back expenses, there's been some major influencers who recently have lost their sponsorships or their brand ambassadorships, if you will, because they really can't put a number on it. Whereas a television show like RVing Today has all the Nielsen ratings, so they've got all the backup data of how many people are watching it. And while you can't tell which particular person comes into the dealership from that unless they tell you, the advertisers see a tremendous value in what they're doing. So kind of go across the stage here. And Lexi, let me start with you, because I know you're doing a lot of the marketing, and Michelle's doing marketing there too. Am I off base, or do you see some trends coming where it may be better for a sponsor to advertise on the television show than paying giving an influencer an RV to work and run around for a year, and maybe you see a couple of people? I thought he had a very valid argument.
Yeah, I think it's different audiences. So I just went to the Go RVing webinar about using National Go RVing Day, and they were talking a lot about how much credibility that your morning news, local morning news, still has. And people want authentic content. They want to see things out in the wild. I see influencers that I follow, and a lot of it's advertisements. And do these people really use the product? Did they really believe in the product? sometimes, if it's families, they'll show you how they use it with the family and give examples. But are they doing it because of a brand deal, or are they doing it because they really love the product? I think RV influencers are a little bit different because you see them living out the lifestyle. So some things naturally kind of fall into place for them. But radio, TV, those are all still very relevant today. They're not going away, as some might suggest, but there are ways you can get a little bit more digitally connected and targeted through streaming ads and different things like that.
Yep. And our other marketing expert, Miss Andro, what do you think?
Well, we are not engaged with influencers per se right now. I did look into it a little bit, probably a few years ago, and there really weren't as many, at least in our region, as I would have liked. With the authenticity and the credibility, again, I feel like when I researched it, it was a lot of people doing it to get free use of an RV versus really embracing the lifestyle. And like Lexi, I think we find that targeting more of a local market works better for us. And you do have to remember that, I mean, while we want to bring younger consumers into the RV industry, it is a luxury purchase. It's sort of like a second home type purchase, even though it's on wheels. Granted, there are some that are very affordable that cost less than a car would cost, but you do, need to have a good amount of money to purchase an RV, in addition to if you're in your 20s and you're renting or, trying to make ends meet, you're in your first job, we might not be able to skew that young. I think our RV industry skews a little older.
I think that's a valid point, because
Yeah.
we always hear about the Gen Zers who are still living in the basement of their mother and father's home. They can't afford their first home.
Yeah.
So how much money do you want to spend trying to convince them to buy their second home?
Right.
That-
Although I will say, at the shows when we were showing the the destination units that we have that are so beautiful, with 2 bunk rooms, a bathroom, washer and dryer, the whole shebang. People were telling me, or even thinking, like, there's some people who said they actually use their RV as their main living quarters and rent out their house. They Airbnb it, and they make a lot of money that way. They have a good piece of property. There was one couple who said they have a piece of property on a lake, and they put their RV down by the lake, and they rent out their house, and they're just making tons of money.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And actually,
There's
that's
a lot of different usages
good
going
idea.
on out there.
Yeah, because we've heard situations through the years where campers actually have a seasonal in the same town that they live in, and they go there for the summer. So why not do an Airbnb?
Yeah.
Mr. Petro, you got a few years of marketing under your belt. Want to comment here?
Well, this influencer thing, I think the bubble is over on it, because there were a lot of people that, like Michelle said it best, they were looking for a free ride, without much concern for what the product, what they were going to deliver for that free ride. And, most of them are, part-timers with no real expertise they can talk about what it's like driving down the street, but they can't tell you anything about, the product that they're using itself. So I think it's just a phase that we've gone through, and we'll get back to more traditional ways of doing things. Now, as far as the days of putting an ad in the newspaper to promote your RV, I think those days are gone. But electronic methodology of reaching people is the way to do it. Plus, dealers, I think, are finding out that social media has been around long enough that if they have a consistent exchange of ideas with their existing business, then they can continue to grow their business that way as well. So that's my take on that.
Sheri, let me just get rid of DePietro here.
Thanks a lot.
Let go.
Gotta be a better way. Gotta be a better way to put it.
Well, we could. Sheri, from a marketing standpoint, oops, There you go. What? Hit the wrong button. Here, like that.
There you go.
Now 43 years in business? That's a tremendous record, and I'm sure many people refer a business to you. Are you doing anything different marketing wise, or what's your take on the influencers themselves?
I mean, we are on with Comcast. We do the news, so we've got that running. That's been, boy, I've got to be doing that for 20 years. As a matter of fact, the rep that I had, she just retired a year ago. So that's something we've got to re-up it, and he hasn't told me to sign yet, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, he hasn't asked for the order yet?
No, unfortunately she told Bobby the annual amount, and he did a little freaky deaky, and he hasn't told me to sign yet. So
is that Sue?
Actually hired.
Yeah, no, that was Sue, yeah.
Over for her. Huh? So I'm trying to get him to sign for it because we're actually grandfathered in, so it's stupid not to. So it's reasonable, but I still have the radio people knocking down my door. We still do an average amount of print. I mean, I'm in the Boston Herald on Sundays. We're in Motor Trend, Motorhead. I mean, we've got a full page ad on that, which is kind of good. I think I actually had one call from that after a year of advertising in it, but we still have our hands in the water on everything. But I think the thing that does it the most, I mean, I do Facebook. I have a company doing Facebook ads now that's a little better than the one that I had before. So I think that's bringing it in, and the website's doing good. So a lot of it's word of mouth too. I mean, people that have come in and have rented keep referring so many people to us and telling us that, and I mean, you guys are out there too and saying it too. To go rent one first, try it first, make sure it's the right fit. Don't go buy one first because you end up not liking it. So I think that's still a big deal out there, is get in something first before you spend any large amount of money.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Our first RV rental, I think, I mean, years ago, but I know Lexi, you guys used to rent quite a bit.
We did.
Right? That's where I saw the rentals were available down there. And Michelle, were you guys ever in the rental business?
We did for a while, yes, but not any longer.
Both of you knew you couldn't compete with Sheri. That's why.
Yeah. No, it's too much work is what it is.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. People say, oh, wow, you know what? Look at all that money they're making at 1 week. They don't realize, right? And ladies, I'm sure you figured out the way some of these customers bring the units back. They think, well, they rented it for a week. They think they owned it. But
yeah. Lexi, are you still renting?
We are not.
You're not?
A few years.
Okay. I thought so. Okay.
Hey, Bob, let me ask Walter a question, because I was
Go ahead.
Flipping through. Hopefully Walter's still with us, but I was just flipping through Facebook while we were here for a second, because I got an alert. Walter showed a picture of his unit, and it said it had a new wrap on it. Walter, did you wrap it, or is it just an AI wrap on your unit? I think it's an AI wrap, but anyway. And look who just popped up.
Look who just popped in.
Mr. Hello. Metro West himself. He popped out too.
Now you popped me back
there
in.
He is.
Back.
Yeah, Bob put me in and took me right back out. That was quick.
When it tells me that somebody is on stage, I think they're down below, but they're actually, you come directly into the program when you accept it like that.
Okay.
The reason I asked Bill to come by this morning, he's a man of many talents, and one is producing great programs and events, and he's got one coming up. And Bill, if you don't mind talking over your graphic, tell us a little bit about the Mass Motor Bay State Festival.
The Bay State Motor Festival. It's so you clipped it right from the website. So the 2025 one, there's a whole bunch of photos that were there.
Yeah.
But Bay State Motor Festival. So the Bay State Motor Vehicle, it was a sedan built by the R.H. Long Company in Framingham, Massachusetts in 1924. That company was then purchased by what is today General Motors, and they started to manufacture in Framingham. What many people don't realize is that in Massachusetts, in the last 100 years, 7 million vehicles were built. So cars, but trucks, RVs, all sorts of different types of vehicles. 4.7 million of those were made in Framingham. And this particular event is designed to celebrate 100 years of automotive innovation. And we've got the Bay State model car, which is a sedan that is 100 years old. It's been restored. And that is the centerpiece. So Bay State is the nickname for Massachusetts, but the Bay State sedan 100 years ago was the state of the art. And it was designed to be similar to the Model T everybody knew that came along a little bit later. But when you look at the profile and the demographic, exactly what Michelle was talking about 10, 15 minutes ago, of who the customer is on the RV side of things, they tend to mirror what is on the car collector side of things. So somebody that actually owns a car, whether it be from the 50s or 60s or from the 30s or 40s, 175, somewhere in that years old, those vehicles take a little bit of time and energy and money. And it is not the 20-somethings out there who are buying these cars at this point. These are somewhat older folks, and they invest in this as a hobby, and they are traveling around not just the region, but the country, similar to how dog show folks and horse show folks are typical RV type consumers. This is a category that they fit that as well.
Bill, I'm sorry, John. What's the opportunity, Bill, for an RV dealer to have one or two units on display?
So this will be about 2,500 folks. It runs 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Father's Day, which is, instead of buying Dad another tie, the idea is bring Dad to the Bay State Motor Festival. And the overlap in terms of the audience demographic, and as we were talking about, as you guys were talking about a little earlier here, it is the experiential angle that is going to wake up the people that, oh, this is interesting, I should be looking at this. That if I wasn't thinking about buying an RV, but now I'm seeing them, I'm walking through the unit or getting to see the unit, suddenly it's like, okay, this actually is something appropriate. And now they become a motivated person in that the sales funnel. They're not yet a buyer, but they're halfway there. Going to an RV show like the Boston RV show or some of the other ones, that's a pretty straightforward commitment. You're going to see a bunch of RV units. But if you're coming into a motor festival, it's one of that serendipity factor pieces of what is trade shows and what is events. And that's how these play together.
What is the, let me just see if I can create a new banner. What is the URL that people could go to look at this?
So tagged right below my name, BayStateMotorFestival.com.
There we go.
Yeah. And this particular program, well, we're hopefully going to hear from Jim Roy that he'll be able to come down and join us. He's been renovating a 1930s, I think it is. And Bob or John, you may know a little bit more about that unit. He's got that RV unit that's being rebuilt. He's been working on the grill in the middle of winter. It's like, okay, there we go. Yep, you got it there. He was working on the grill with all the fancy Russian walnut wood, and it's like,
oh, that's the new the monster bus, right?
Yes, that's an RV.
Yeah, it's the name of it. It's an old bus type thing. Yeah, but
yep. The hope was that it would be drivable from Maine to Framingham, Massachusetts on June 21st. And the look on Jim's face when I asked him that back in December was like, yeah, that's not all that far off. And it's a lot of work left to do.
Well, the other thing for Lexi, actually for all three of our women, you've got a lot of customers, and you might know some of your customers who have a a vintage trailer or a vintage motorhome that they might want to show at this event. And, and like you mentioned earlier, Lexi, and we share the excitement about the Dynamax product line. I know John's had one out before.
Yeah.
It's an incredible product line, and some of these people may not even have any idea what an RV is. And Sheri, from your standpoint, it may be something that you look at to expose these people to renting before they're buying. So if they come and they see some of these things and look at it, but it would, for a one-day adventure, it may be worth the investment. All right, Bill, I appreciate you jumping on.
Yep.
I wanted to get, you do so much work for us behind the scenes that people don't see. We owe you a favor or two, but
well, I appreciate the favor coming on here, and it's always fun to join, especially with this particular group. You guys have a great conversation. Thank you again, everybody.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very interesting. It's not. You went there one year, right, John?
I haven't been to that one.
You haven't been to that one, yeah.
No.
It's an amazing audience.
But one of the things that Bill does is when he puts these events together, there are so many other ancillary events, things going on at the same time. They might have, there's usually a lot of food vendors, local food vendors. And that's always good to sample the local flavors of Framingham. And did he say it's taking place at the former GM facility?
Taking place at the park. I don't know if it's doing it at the facility. Again, to show you how old I am, I can remember as a kid
when they invented the car.
When they when they used to be manufacturing in Framingham, it was at a time when all the manufacturers released their next year's vehicle around the same time. It would be like in September or October, and they'd take them
September, October, right? Exactly.
They didn't want anybody to see them, so they didn't show you anything.
They all covered over.
Yeah, exactly. To get them from the Framingham plant, you'd see these long freight trains with all these cars with all the covers on them until they could actually release them to the public. And we'd run down to the rail yards and we'd lift up the outside covering, try to see if we could see the grill or what the ornament was on the hood and what have you. But it was a bustling time. That's a bustling time, that's for sure, and what it was. In the final minutes that we have, Lexi, give a kind of like a 30-second overview on why you'd like to have people visit with you at Longview RV. And then we'll get to see the other two will have a chance to think about it. We'll just throw it in your lap.
Awesome. Yeah. Come to Longview. We're stocked and ready to go. We're open 7 days a week, which is awesome. So Saturday and Sunday we're there, and we are very conveniently middle of the state right off of 91. So we're ready to go. Parts and service is packed, so schedule your appointments now. Don't wait. I think everyone said that. Don't wait. It's already so busy, but we're just excited for the season, and I think the cabin fever, everyone's going to be ready to go soon.
That's fantastic.
And it's America's 250th birthday, so get excited about that.
That's a big plus. And I just looked over my shoulder, and the Red Sox bats did not show up again tonight. They're losing to the Yankees 4-0. Hey, I hate to report that, but so Michelle, I'm not sure if you guys are Yankee fans or Red Sox fans down there.
We're a little closer to New York, so.
That's a polite way. That's a very polite way of saying it, Michelle.
That you're Yankee fans, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have people come visit us at Hemlock Hill RV, just to talk about camping, and we're really excited to get the season started. We are also very busy, so please don't wait. Schedule your service appointments. People are, coming out in droves now because there's that last ditch effort to get everything ready for Memorial Day weekend. And I think it's going to be extra busy with the America's 250th birthday and the Go RVing 250 program going on. Make appointments now, and we're going to be really looking forward to seeing people on May 2nd for our Super Saturday sale.
Okay, now you just announced today that you're also part of the R250 passport program, and Lexi, you're on that program also, right?
We are, yes.
Explain how that works for people.
So at our dealership, we have the passports that go RVing provided for us, and there's little stickers that go with it. So then you can log your RV travels, and then you have the chance to submit. Well, you can submit them, and then you have the chance to win through Go RVing to get some of your camping fees covered for the season, which is awesome. So I made cute little bags so you can come to the service department and a little bag and a little thank you note for stopping by, and then you get your passport. And I really would love if anyone has picked them up already to send us pictures on your travels so I can put them on our social media as well. But trying to get some excitement around that and some bigger RV trips.
Fantastic. Michelle, how are you using it?
Pretty much the same. I mean, we're excited to hand them out to people, and hopefully they'll take photos and send them to us and enter to potentially win. I think it's up to $5,000 in camping fees as the grand prize for 2027 camping fees. And ours are in our parts department right in front of Just Ask Amy. So she'll be more than thrilled to tell you all about it.
Sheri, have you looked at that program at all to see what is, how you might use it?
Actually, I did. I had them. They sent us some passports, and we started before school vacation. We started getting into that. So I'm gonna stop putting them in the brochure rack outside the door, and start promoting that over this weekend. Get a jump on it.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Bob, we need to thank these ladies for taking time. I mean, it's not like they do nothing all day and show up at 7:00 to do the show. I mean, they've all been working, 12, 13 hours today, and probably still have a couple more hours of work before their day is over. And we really appreciate having them bring the perspective of what's going on in the industry, not necessarily the women's perspective, because their jobs don't just deal with women. They deal with all the genders that we have in the country today. And you know what? We're grateful to have them on with us and honored to have them on as well.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, always a fun. We always learn something new when we bring them on. So been great having you. We will do it again, I guarantee you. But
Great. Well, thanks you guys too for having us.
Yeah,
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day, everybody. You guys are the best.
Fun as usual.
All right. Take care. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.